Ladies and gentlemen, in this particular episode, we are going to discuss about metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of elevated blood pressure, elevated sugar, increased bad cholesterol and or triglycerides, and being overweight. That means having excess waist circumference. And if you ask me, does anybody with metabolic syndrome have any symptoms and signs? They may not. They may appear just being overweight, but they may not necessarily have any symptoms whatsoever. So if you are overweight, it is important to get screened for all the problems that I have already mentioned. Who are at increased risk of developing metabolic syndrome? All those who have got the bad genes, that means family history of this problem, who are overweight, who lead an unhealthy sedentary lifestyle, who do not eat the right kind of foods in the right quantity. So all these people are at increased risk of developing metabolic syndrome. So what happens if you have metabolic syndrome? That puts you to increased risk of all the complications of the mentioned problems, which means you may have increased risk of heart attack, brain stroke, and all the other problems related to diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. And if you ask me as to how you can protect yourself from metabolic syndrome and the consequences thereafter, firstly, make sure that you lead a healthy lifestyle. Make sure that you exercise, for instance, brisk walking for 45 minutes or more almost daily, and eat the right kind of foods in the right quantity. Eat fresh fruits and vegetables regularly. Make sure that you cut down on excess fat, especially saturated fats. Make sure that you cut down red meat in your diet. Cut down the salt intake in your diet. Make sure that you maintain the optimal body weight appropriate for your age and height. Also make sure that you cut down on alcohol intake and stop if you can. Avoid smoking by all means. So if you follow these precautions, I'm sure you would be able to avert the various things that I have mentioned about metabolic syndrome and the complications because of all those. So take care.